morning, Manayunk, and welcome to another episode of Manayunk Mornings. We took a little summer break around here, but we're back and ready to bring you the latest news and happenings on Main Street. I'm your host, Caitlin, and let's get started with the news. Since our last episode, we've had two new exciting businesses open their doors on Main Street. Threads on Main opened their doors at the old location of the Little Apple, and owner Anna features designer clothing and accessories in the new shop. And just a few doors down, the long-awaited opening of Chef Moon's Chava Thai restaurant is finally over, as guests can now enjoy their favorite Thai classics in Manayunk. And next door, Chef Moon also opened her new Thai market, Binto, where you can get fresh Thai food right out the door to go. There's two exciting events coming up next Saturday. Bourbon Blues hosting Make America Laugh Again from 6 to 9 p.m. Tickets are $20 in advance, $25 at the door, and $30 for those who want VIP seating. And also next Saturday, the Spiral Bookcase welcomes local author Brian Biggs, who's a children's author and illustrator who will be in the shop from 4 to 7 p.m. And over at Manayunk.com, we're wrapping up planning for the Fall Street Food Festival, which will be happening on Sunday, September 18th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. We'll be bringing Philadelphia's best food trucks right here to Main Street for you. And also look for the next issue of Manayunk Magazine, our fall issue, which will be hitting newsstands soon. The cover this time is all about Chef Craig Wilson of Maya J and Gigi. And now I'll throw you over to Leo, who's taking on the new role as the couch guy and talking to Kosta from SMoKE.
Thank you, Caitlin. I'm sitting here with Kosta of SMoKE Manayunk, Main Street's premier cigar shop. Kosta, welcome to the couch.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
Good to be on your couch.
Pleasure to have you here. So why don't you tell the people at home how you got into cigars?
I'd always had like a cigar here and there at a wedding, just like every other guy, or some big special event. But then moved out here to Philadelphia, went through some cool stuff, bad stuff in my life. Met a roommate, he was big in cigars, kind of forced me to sit down and hang out with him and talk about cigars, so call out the Dan McCabe. So me and him would sit down every Friday and like have a cigar before we'd go do anything else and talk about life. And then ended up meeting this other guy, Terry, who had a small cigar shop right here on one of the side streets off Main, and really got into cigars with him, and he started teaching me a lot about them. I just learned it was a cool way to open up and to talk about stuff, which is not something I was good at. Also forced me to sit down and like take a break for an hour, which is probably the coolest thing that most people need in life, is something that forces them to do nothing for 1 hour and just relax. So,
how many different kinds of cigars do you have at your shop?
in the last 2 weeks, we brought in about 80 new facings. We're probably about 500 different cigars total, different sizes, ring gauges, lengths ring gauges. All different ones from lots of different countries.
Well, you brought some cigars for us today. Why don't you tell me a little bit about them?
Yeah, so these are, this is what we call the Zeus. It's the Zeus of Manayunk, which is pretty cool. We go on a trip every year to Nicaragua or Honduras, and while we were down there on one of them, I had this one blended for us. So it's everything I like in a cigar. It's a little stronger for a newer guy.
For veterans only?
Yeah, but it's pretty strong. It's real rich. It's got like cocoa and coffee hints to it. It's what we call quad Ligero, so it has 4 Ligero leaves, which is the top leaf of the plant.
So what's your clientele like over at SMoKE? Are they all like a bunch of fat cat Wall Street dudes that go, meh, right, meh, see?
So our clientele is very diverse. As a matter of fact, on Monday nights we do this discussion night where we invite in all of our regulars. This last Monday, the youngest person there was 23, the oldest was 66. Black, white, Egyptian, a Chinese guy was there, male, female. I'd say our clientele are people that are looking to make friends or looking for a good conversation and to relax, like something different than just going out on Main Street to a bar.
What is your advice for someone who's never had a cigar before and wants to try to get into them? You know, where do they start?
Come in, probably the easiest thing. So I love nothing more than when somebody comes in, they're like, I have no clue what I'm doing here. I need some help. Come in and spend time with us and give me 3 or 4 cigars at a time, and we'll find one that you like, without a doubt.
So aside from your Monday night get-togethers, what other nights are good times to stop into the shop?
The other great nights would be if you're into hookah. We're not just a cigar lounge, so it would be good to point out we do a lot of hookah. On Wednesday night we do an unlimited hookah where it's $10 per person. Thursday night we do a ladies' night, and we don't have a corkage fee that night. Cigars are 20% off. I always do a cigar class with any ladies that are there that want to.
Ladies.
Ladies, what's up? And then we do half off hookah and 20% off cigars for them. So those are big nights. Or watch our calendar, and we do cigar events, usually 1 or 2 every Friday, or every other Friday in the month.
Well, be sure to stop by SMoKE. Kosta, thanks for stopping by.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Now
Leo.
we're going to send it over back to Caitlin for this week's edition of Store Tours. Cheers, Manayunk.
Thanks, Leo. We're down here at Millay for this episode's store tour. Millay has been calling Main Street home for more than a year, but recently owner Mary Spears has made some store improvements, and we're here to give you a sneak peek. So Mary, tell me about the new shop changes.
So we recently hit our 1-year landmark here, which is really exciting. We sort of moved in on a whim and wanted to see how the transition went from being a fully e-commerce online store to being here with a physical presence. And I ended up really loving it. I really ended up getting a great response from this neighborhood. So we decided to re-sign the lease and really plant roots here and make it our own. So we lightened and brightened the space with white floors and lighting that feels more like us, brought in more botanicals, and just had some custom things made, like our cash wrap and some of the garment racks. So it really feels like we're here and we're here to stay.
So what kind of aesthetic are you trying to bring to shoppers who are coming into the space?
So the brand has always been about ethereal, airy romanticness with a modern interpretation. So nothing like too ornate, like a good balance of antique, ornate laces with very modern, clean finishes.
So now that the new season's coming, tell us about some items we can see here coming up this fall.
So a big part of our brand is always silk chiffons, florals, and as we move into the colder months, we sort of move into a moodier color palette. So you'll see darker roses and reds and browns and blacks. So we try to offer a lot of what we offer in the summer, but just in a more sort of lush, warmer way.
So besides clothes, you also have a lot of items from a lot of women makers across the U.S. Tell me about those.
We do. So a big part of like the heart of this has been about celebrating women and celebrating sartorial style in a really meaningful way. So to me, it was important to start rotating here at the storefront women makers who are sort of the modern day people breaking glass ceilings, making really beautiful things and taking them beyond like this superficial pretty thing that you wear and giving you this confidence of it being like ethically made, really beautiful, and having longevity, and having an element of being like an heirloom that you can pass down. So we have handmade jewelry from an artist in Nashville, Tennessee. Consider the Wildflowers. Everyone really has loved this jewelry line here. It's all really simple, beautiful, layers really well. It's very romantic and dainty. We have really beautiful letterpress cards out of San Francisco, and here in our own Philly neighborhood, we have a brother-sister team who makes all of our woodwork, Vestige Home. So we have like really beautiful cutting boards and catch-all dishes and salt cellars and jewelry boxes by them. So it's been a really nice mashup of really talented people across the country creating this like really beautiful environment here. So it's been good.
So let's meet the shop dog too.
So this is Gazpacho. We call him General Gazpacho because he gets a little spicy, but he's been hanging out at the shop more and more lately, and he's a real ladies' man. You may notice there are a lot of dogs on the street, and he loves them all.
Well, thanks for giving us a tour today, Mary.
Of course, thanks for dropping by.
And if you want to learn more about Millay, stop by the shop or follow along on Instagram at Millay Vintage and hashtag MillayShopScene. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Manayunk Mornings. Next time, let us know if you want to be on the couch.
Kosta, didn't you have fun on the couch today? Isn't it comfy?
Love the couch. It's comfy. So next time, let's start a Manayunk evening segment.
We'll try to make do.
I'm Caitlin, this is Leo, and this is Kosta, and you have a great morning, Manayunk.